Welcome back to the Book Flash podcast. Today, we're diving into a truly intriguing book by the spiritual philosopher Osho, Krishna, the man and his philosophy. I'm Jeff, and as always, I'm joined by Lisa.
Hey, everyone! This episode is going to be special. Osho's interpretation of Krishna is unlike anything we typically hear. He's not just talking about the divine Krishna, but Krishna as a symbol of life itself. So, Jeff, what did you find most interesting about Osho's take on Krishna?
I think it's how Osho presents Krishna as the perfect balance between spirituality and materialism. Osho paints Krishna as someone who isn't stuck in the extremes of renunciation or indulgence, but someone who lives in both worlds with total freedom. It's a refreshing look compared to traditional portrayals of him as either purely a divine entity or just a mythological hero.
Exactly. Osho challenges the traditional narratives by focusing on Krishna's humanness. He's playful, full of joy, and doesn't shy away from the complexities of life. He's involved in love, war, friendship, mischief, and yet stays completely unattached to outcomes. It's as if Krishna is the ultimate embodiment of living in the moment.
And isn't that something we could all learn from? Living fully without overthinking or being bound by the past or future. I think Osho's message here is pretty profound. Krishna represents a way of being where you're both in the world and not of it at the same time.
Right. One key point that Osho stresses is how Krishna enjoys life without guilt. He indulges in love, laughter, and even mischief. In the context of modern spirituality, that's so different, isn't it? We're often taught to avoid pleasures, to renounce. But Osho says Krishna's philosophy is all about accepting and embracing life in its entirety.
Yes, Osho sees Krishna as a reminder that life is not something to renounce but to enjoy, to play with, just as Krishna plays his flute or dances with the gopis. It's about being free from guilt or shame in whatever you do, provided you maintain awareness.
And that's a big theme in Osho's teachings, right? The idea of awareness. He talks about how Krishna lives life in a state of total awareness, which is why he's not trapped by the consequences of his actions. It's not about what Krishna does, but how he does it with complete consciousness and presence.
Osho brings that idea of Krishna's Leela, or cosmic play, into focus. Krishna's life, according to Osho, is one big playful dance. He's not weighed down by responsibilities or societal expectations. Everything he does, whether it's playing with his friends or leading the Pandavas in battle, is a kind of cosmic joke, a play where the stakes are high, but the players are free.
And that's why Osho's take feels so liberating. He invites us to think about how we can live our own lives like Krishna, completely present, not overly serious, and yet deeply connected to every moment. But this doesn't mean being reckless, does it?
No, it's actually the opposite. By being aware and playful like Krishna, Osho suggests we become more responsible, not less. We understand life's impermanence, and as a result, we take each moment as it comes. We don't cling to success or failure. Krishna plays the game of life, but with full knowledge that it's just a game. That's why he can be detached while being completely involved at the same time.
Osho makes another important point about Krishna's detachment that I love. He says Krishna's detachment isn't about running away from life, but being fully immersed in it without being attached to the outcome. That's a powerful lesson for today's world, where we're often told to hustle and grind until we reach some imagined finish line.
Absolutely. Osho's message about detachment is especially relevant in a world full of goals, achievements, and constant pressure to be something or achieve something. He's saying that real freedom comes when we let go of the obsession with results and simply live fully in the present, just like Krishna does.
And I think that's a major takeaway from this book. Krishna, as Osho presents him, isn't the remote and divine figure who's beyond us. Instead, he's showing us a model for how we can live our own lives with more joy, freedom, and balance. You can be in love, in the world, and still be free of its hold over you.
Exactly. There's this story Osho shares about how Krishna, even on the battlefield in the Mahabharata, is smiling. While others are tense and afraid, Krishna maintains his calm. And it's not because he doesn't care, it's because he understands the impermanence of life. He's deeply involved, but he knows that life is transient, like a game that comes and goes.
That's such a powerful image. Smiling amidst chaos. It's like Krishna is teaching us to not let the intensity of life break our spirit. Instead, we can embrace it with full awareness and still smile through it all.
It reminds me of one of Osho's core teachings in this book. He says that Krishna's message is really about finding the divine in the ordinary, in the everyday moments. Whether you're working, loving, or even facing challenges, there's beauty and divinity in it all if you remain conscious.
Yes, Osho's Krishna is both divine and deeply human at the same time. It's a reminder that spirituality isn't just about meditation or renunciation. It's about how we live, how we relate to each other, how we enjoy and embrace every aspect of life.
I think this is why Osho's book resonates with so many people. He's breaking down this idea that spiritual life is somehow separate from worldly life. Krishna teaches us that the two are actually one and the same if we live with awareness and presence.
That's beautifully said, Jeff. So, to wrap up, the core lesson from Krishna, the man and his philosophy is this: don't run away from life, but embrace it fully. Be like Krishna, joyful, playful, involved, and yet totally free. The key is awareness, living in the moment, and not being attached to the outcomes.
Couldn't agree more. So, for everyone listening, if you want a fresh, liberating perspective on Krishna, this book is a must-read. It's not just a book about mythology, it's a guide to living with freedom and joy.
That's right. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Book Flash podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and check out our other episodes. We'll see you next time.